Hello everyone and welcome to the Warrior Nation F1 League podcast. We're a bit light on numbers today, which is, I think, probably the first time in ever. 11 episodes in, it's only taken us to get only 3 members. Ollie's not with us today, can't make it unfortunately. But we do have C Stealth.
Hello everybody, welcome back again.
It's good to have you. And Stephen Hayes, hello.
Hello, how you doing? It's a lovely summer's evening, well, spring evening. That might attribute to why everyone's outside, perhaps.
Well, yeah, maybe people have gone outside and taken in the sun.
Seen the light, perhaps.
Perhaps. I see the light right now. It's shining in my face, and I can tell you it's not very pleasant.
Is it taunting you? Is sunshine taunting you?
I don't like hot weather. I much prefer it to be cold.
Yeah, same here. 20 degrees below, 10 degrees below, that's better.
Well, I always have a saying, you know, there's only, when you're cold, you can put as many layers on as you want. But when it's hot, you can only take off so many until you get arrested.
Exactly.
Oh, true.
And that is why I prefer the cold.
Are you likely to get arrested then?
Probably.
Fantastic. Bowfar in the nude.
So without further ado, let's move on to GP1, and here's our roundup of the action voiced by our own Stephen J. Hayes.
The second season in the Warrior Nations GP1 division of the F1 Racing League saw the drivers travel to Catalunya in Spain for the first European race of the season, and the weather played its biggest role yet. Qualifying saw the sun out and a bone-dry track, where Shiraz 995 grabbed pole position in the Force India, 3/10 faster than championship leader Tuppers in second. In true form, Fire Samil and Jay Hygo followed closely behind, with second through to fourth place separated by less than 1/10 of a second. By the time the race was to start though, the heavens had opened and the drivers would start and end the race on full wet tyres. It was Shiraz 995 who had the most consistent weekend though, by picking up the race win as well as the fastest lap. The story for the reigning drivers' champion though was to read very differently. After a series of incidents during the opening laps, the Sauber number 1 found himself in last place. After a poor start to the race, his luck failed him and ended in Tuppers losing connection on lap 4. The biggest surprise of the weekend though was Jay Hygo's teammate at McLaren, Gaza. The number 2 driver found his way into 4th place after making his way past a first sector riddled with cars spinning off track. He stayed at the front for the rest of the race, eventually finishing 4th. Following closely behind was the Mercedes of Bowfar. Connection and first corner issues had kept him from scoring a single point so far this season, but in the wet conditions they seemed to favour Bowfar, and he finished in 5th place, picking up 10 valuable points. So the championship standings look like this. Shiraz 995's dominant display in the rainy Spain sees him move to 89 points and places him on top of the standings for the first time this season. 1 point behind him is the consistent one, Jay Hygo, on 88, and Tuppers' no score last week sees him stay on 77 points in 3rd. After a dismal beginning to Fire Samil's season, he moves to 74 points, only 3 points behind last year's world champion. Cube 623 stays 6th with 44 points, and Oxa 112 drops 14 points behind him to 30. Thimbot 007's 9th place ensures he keeps hold of 7th, while Gaza moves from 13th to 8th place because of his impressive display in Spain on 16 points. The Spanish GP saw many surprises and some absolute shocks, but it's given us the championship we all wanted. With the top 4 drivers closer than ever, what will happen when the drivers head to Monaco, where the track is thin and the barriers unforgiving? All we do know is that consistency will be key in the next race of the Warrior Nations F1 Racing League.
So GP1, what we didn't mention in the roundup was that there was quite a lot of connection issues anyway. Last weekend, GP2 had some connection issues. I think GP3 did as well. But it was quite controversial, wasn't it, Stephen?
It was clarification on the ruling that we've made around third lap, I think, is to blame on that one. So we had a rule in place that said if you had 3 disconnections within the first 3 laps, that we would restart with a random grid. The car that last disconnected was on its 3rd lap, but the lead car was on its 4th lap, 2/3 of the way round. So we've clarified that rule now. We've said it's the lead car. So once the lead car has completed the 3rd lap, that's it. There is no more restart.
Well, we did have a bit of a discussion whilst we were racing around, but I think the discussion was mainly what lap did the last person disconnect on, and I think everyone was like, I think it was lap 4. So yeah, it was a little bit controversial when we got out.
I think for me, even though I was pottering around at the back of the field, I don't like the water. It's not very nice. It was a washout. Boom, boom. We did it democratically. You know, everyone got a vote on whether we'd restart or not, irrespective of what their position was. The unanimous decision was to continue racing, and therefore that's what we did. Like I say, clarification on the rules since now should make that nice and easy to steward in future races, should we have the same issues.
I definitely wanted to stay racing. I was found my highest position of the year. So that was nice for me. I actually finished a race.
Hey.
Yes! Yes, round of applause is well earned.
Well done. I'm clapping for you right now.
I can't clap because I need to push my button.
No, you definitely clapped too fast for it to be a slow hand clap.
I can't clap because I need to push the button.
Oh.
It's fine, you don't have to clap, Stealth.
Do I break out into another song of Sugar Babes and push the button?
Push the button.
So have to record that, loop that, and put that on the song. Stealth, push the button.
Push the button. Push the button.
Do you actually know the song, Stealth?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Got 3 words, isn't it? Push the button.
Yeah, something like that. I don't care.
Well, actually, it does kind of work out as well, being Dutch. If you're ready for me, boy.
The button, let me know. I like saying, everybody say, I'm coming. I'm never saying that again. I'm saying I'm on my way.
Are you on your way?
Yeah.
Say that to your lady friends. Are you on your way?
No.
In the absence of Ollie and his wonderful intros, here's bowfar with all the action from GP2.
The Warrior Nations GP2 division headed to Spain with Mr. Tans in a commanding position in the championship standings. But would this race throw a spanner in the works? Unlike GP1's race, the weather stayed hot and dry throughout the weekend, and HB Snipes made the most of it by placing his Mercedes in pole position. His teammate Steve JW94 placed in 3rd, whilst Mr. Tans put his McLaren between the Silver Arrows in 2nd. But none of that mattered, as 3 disconnections in the first 3 laps caused the race to be restarted with a random grid. The new look start to the race saw Mr. Tans and Steve JW94 upgraded a place each, while HB Snipes started from 4th. When the lights went out, Mr. Tans set off but was swallowed up by the fast starting Steve JW94, and the Mercedes driver took the lead. HB Snipes also started well and soared past the Red Bull of Danielson in the first corner and soon made Mr. Tans a Mercedes sandwich to deal with. The Ferrari of LMG killers joined the leaders as they began to leave the rest behind in their dust. Incidents followed behind, but none of them was serious enough to alter the course of the race until the dying laps. Concerns over the connection quality were seen when Craterface in the Red Bull ghosted and started running as an AI by the game. Mr. Tans was next to feel the connection problems as he also had his car taken over by the game's AI, with many claiming to have passed him on track. When the servers caught up with the racers, Steve JW94 had taken the checkered flag, with Mr. Tans in 2nd place and LMG Killers taking the remaining podium spot in 3rd. So the championship standings for GP2 look like this. Mr. Tans extends his lead to the top of the standings by 42 points on 104. HB Snipes takes second place from Steve Stealth on 63, and Steve JW94's second win of the season sees him draw level with C Stealth in joint third on 62 points. A strong outing from LMG Killers sees him drop to 5th place, but only by 2 points on 60. So the racing may not be close at the front on track, but the battle for promotion into GP1 is beginning to heat up nicely. With the drivers heading to Monaco, there will be everything to race for around the narrow streets in the next meeting of the Warrior Nations F1 Racing League. So the GP2 race wasn't completely void of controversy either, but it all came at the end with connection issues. I think that's the word of the day, isn't it? Connection. What was it like driving?
The weekend was a bit of a washout on the Codemasters servers.
Yes, well, I think it may have had something to do with the Xbox release video live stream announcement that they did.
Maybe. Will you be buying one?
I haven't actually seen it. And nor do I care, because I don't have the dollar to pay for it.
You know, they don't actually release it till the video until the 21st of May, so you didn't miss anything. It was just an announcement to say they're going to make an announcement, I think.
Oh, good. Anyway, back on topic, naughty people.
Use that.
What were the connection issues like for you, Stealth, actually competing in them?
The connection issues on the race, it happened, I think, on lap 11, 12, maybe, even later.
No, it was later than that. It was much later.
It was a hell of a pain. Everybody was driving from some drivers were driving themselves. You can see that on the race, but some drivers were AI'd for some drivers. So no, they won't move out of the way. Cost me my 4th place because I was held up by an AI. I'm not going to say any names, but I was held up by an AI, and that cost me my place. But it was like they say in real life, a driving chicane.
Well, I didn't have any issues in GP1 other than the fact I finished 11th out of 11 finishers, and there weren't another 10 disconnections in front of me. But I can certainly vouch for Stealth in Melbourne, which seems like an age ago. I think Shiraz had the same issue, and I posted in the forum 2 images a second apart where I dropped a place where suddenly the server caught up with itself. So, and I actually passed him, Shiraz that is, in the fast left-right in Melbourne, which I thought was crazy, knowing how fast he goes anyway. So yeah, I can quite imagine the issues that Stealth had in, as well as the other GP2 drivers in GP2.
Yeah, GP3 had the same problems. So no, it was a hell of a weekend. But still, we scored some points. I'm still 3rd, I think. So no, I can't complain too much.
We launched a new division of the Racing League this week. Very exciting. Cue whoops.
Whoop, whoop.
Thank you, Stealth.
Booyah.
And a booyah. Oh, look at that. Lucky. Got 2 whoops and a booyah. So GP3 started this week, and they'll be racing from the same. They'll be mirroring the same season we are. So they've missed the first 4 races, the first 4 calendar races, but they started at Catalunya. And Stephen has a bit of a rundown of what actually happened in that race.
So in Baby Bell's absence, I'll have a quick scoot through the backmarker issue and cherry pick little parts. So the Real Zesty was able to grab pole from Dakuji in the Force India by 1/10 of a second, with Stan and Excrim in 3rd and 4th place. Race day, they had a little bit of rain as the lights went out. Real Zesty got off to a fantastic start and into clean air. It was a clean first corner for most, though Reggie 9114 took a touch from the Lotus of Kieran, and this led to Reactor 903 and Team Red Bull to drop down to 8th. As the rain trickled down, progressively greasing up the track, those who decided to risk going out of soft tyres were now forced to pit for a set of intermediates, knocking them further back from the race leaders. Kerr making a comeback to F1 after a short break, having lost his seat in GP1, found himself in GP3 and had quite a good outing actually. He got himself up to 3rd by the end, so quite a few points there. I think possibly, if I'm right, one of his best outings, if not his best outing in the WNX F1 League. But the rain didn't stay for very long, and as it started to dry up, those people on the Inter started to struggle. And it was the second place man, Dakuji, who managed to come through into the end and take 25 points, followed by the real Zesty, with Kerr taking that 3rd place. Force India lead the constructors, having both drivers finish in the points, and netting them a total of 37, and only 1 point split 2nd and 3rd in the constructors. So bowfar, who is doing Meet the Driver this week?
Well, it's a funny question, and it's strange you should ask because I was just about to talk about it.
Fantastic! I'm so glad I could help you out with your hosting in Ollie's absence. Where is Ollie, other than sending me text messages saying I'm not here?
He's probably playing World of Tanks.
Now he's with his friend Craig.
Playing World of Tanks. This week's Meet the Driver, we are going to meet a podcast regular, Stuart SSDD.
Hi, I'm Stuart SSDD and I will be driving in the GP1 League. In this second season of the GP1, I will be driving for Team Williams. I'd probably say my first F1 related memory would be Spa 98, which was the at least 10-car pile-up at the second bend. I'd say my favourite F1 driver of all time would be Michael Schumacher. He was fairly controversial with some of his decisions, what he made, such as Monaco 2006, parking it in qualifying. No holds barred driver, always gave 100%. Maybe pushed the limits a lot in his first career, but still, you got to give him credit. He won 7 world titles. I'd say my favourite F1 moment would probably be the first bit of the 2009 season, where Braun, pretty much from the ashes from the old Honda team, came up and Button won 7 out of the first 8 races, I believe, which, with about 3 months' notice, put together a car and dominated the first half of the season. With the GP1 Championship, you can't look any further than Tuppers, but Shiraz is a quick driver. If he cuts out a few of his errors, I can see him being even closer than Tuppers than last season. I'd like to say my teammate, Ferrari fan, but I can't look past Tuppers on this one.
So it's a part of the podcast where we look ahead to next race, and it's everyone's favourite. It's Monaco.
Hey!
I couldn't tell if that was a boo or hooray.
Hooray! Hey! Yippee!
So did anyone actually do Monaco last season? Obviously that's not to stealth because he wasn't here. Bowfar, did you do Monaco last season?
No, I was away for that one.
Fantastic. So actually the only person that did Monaco last season was me, which the race was badged Crashico and lived up to its expectations. There were only 6 finishers and I finished 6th, 4 laps down. Whoop whoop. And it was wet.
Hey, but still, it's points.
Yes, you're right, there were points, but it was wet. If we get a wet Monaco, there better not be more disconnection issues this weekend.
Oh yes, please. Oh, I like a wet Monaco.
You're on your way.
Yep.
I'm going to stop it there before it gets out of control. It's like Samir with his facts last week. He just kept on blurting them out. It was ridiculous.
That's such a great idea. I have the most better idea.
The most better?
The most better idea. I'm going to do random facts. I'm going to do random Sebastian Vettel facts. At least it's to the point.
It's to a point, but none that I can see. We are veering.
I'm going to start saying them now, and you can drop them in whenever you want.
We're veering so far off topic, it's quite ridiculous.
I've got one.
Great, that's brilliant. Keep it to yourself.
You want to hear this one?
I know, I do want to hear it.
Just let me get one in.
And edit it out.
Swine. When Sebastian Vettel is driving in the rain, he isn't getting wet. The water's getting vet.
Oh, gosh. Really? Stealth, how do you think Monaco is going to go for you?
As long as I can keep my car out of the wall, at some points, I can't say, I didn't test, so I can't say too much. As long as I can keep my car out of the wall, again, I hope for points.
I think it's going to be the same for most people.
So that's a roundup for all the GP drivers.
Yeah, exactly. There's no point in asking Stephen, because he's just going to say the same thing. Or he'll say some sort of random Vettel fact again.
What will I say that's the same thing?
Were you not listening?
No.
Stop playing World of Tanks!
Yeah, stop playing World of Tanks.
Well, I'm trying to fill in for all the missing members here.
No, what's happening is you are looking up Sebastian Vettel facts, aren't you?
All I'm going to say is the first can of Red Bull was sold in the same year that Vettel was born, 1987.
And that's why I drink Relentless.
So, bowfar, where do you think you're going to finish?
I haven't got a clue.
Stay out of the wall, get some points.
Yeah, exactly. Stay out of the wall, get some points. Hopefully I don't get stuck behind Gaza again, because I may not be able to control myself.
What is it with Mercedes drivers and Gaza? I mean, come on, it's one car.
What is it with Gaza and Gaza? Anyway, this is not the place to talk about it.
So, Stephen, where do you think you're going to finish?
We're going to win, of course.
If you do that, I will come online, and I will put it on, and I will congratulate you.
All I need to do is go and pay everyone a large sum of money to put it in a barrier then. No, on a serious note, top 10 would be nice.
So that's all we have time for on this episode of the Warrior Nation F1 Racing League podcast. It's a mouthful. We need to shorten it down, I think, maybe.
All I'm going to say is Red Bull gives you wings, Sebastian Vettel gives Red Bull wings.
And we shall also mention Monster Energy and Relentless and Red Rooster and all the other ones as well.
The Sebastian Vettel's smile can melt carbon fibre and his mating call is a V8 at 18,000 RPM.
And what does that sound like, Stephen?
Whee!
So just before we go, I've been asked by Master Babybar to plug Twitter, although I should probably mention it every week. We have Twitter, everyone. You can follow us at WNX F1 League. If you search for Warrior Nation F1, you'll find us. And there we post updates of what's happening on the races, what's happening during the races or when they're being done. All the results. We post stuff from Backmarker, our kind of weekly magazine that we do. And also when this goes up, when the podcast goes up and all the videos from the races. So if you want to find out more about it, then definitely go to Twitter, and that's where you'll find the easiest way to get in touch with us. You have something to plug as well, don't you, Stephen?
I do indeed. So people, it's that time of the month again. It's time to sign roll call. You'll find sign roll call button on the menu bar across the top. If you can just click the links, let's see if we can get everyone to click that this month. Thank you.
So that is all we have time for. And this is the fifth time I've tried to say this without those two talking over me. Naughty, naughty people. Anyway, it's time to say goodbye. So it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from Stealth and Stephen.
Doodle peep.
Bye-bye. See you next time. Hear you next time.
Thank you. And we'll see you again for episode 12. Goodbye.